on the correspondence, we beam the lights on the 2025 commemoration of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, looking at the impacts, breaking the silence, and highlighting efforts by governments, organizations, and individuals to combat the menace across communities in Nigeria. Hello and thanks for joining us on the correspondence this week. As you know, we'll have our correspondent in the course of the program to share experiences. So stick around as we unfold this insightful and educative edition. I'm Zenra Dingmun, and thanks for being there. Now, the implementation of policies that protect the rights of women and girls from all forms of violence alongside the firm prosecution of perpetrators and the bold act of speaking out against abuse remains the urgent call to action as women across the world commemorate the 2025 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. Momsod Emiandati reports that Nigerian women are not left out as they join their counterparts around the globe to commemorate the days.
As far as I'm in this office, there is no place for promotion for you, especially.
You can never
do you. And even if I want to test that, even if you come closer, even if I want to test that, come closer, I will just give you that response. Jesus! What did Jesus do to you? Look at this idiot. Get out,
please.
For 9 good years, I was sexually abused by my dad from age 7 to age 15, and I got discussed from him whenever I don't let him to have his way. It wasn't easy, I would say, because somebody noticed me in school and she called me and I explained to her. The first thing she asked was, "Are you sure it's a biological father?" So she said she was going to help me. And then I showed her my journal where I write down the dates of when my dad sexually abused me, when blood comes out, when he sought me, and what I needed the most at that period. I was like, I just want to stay away from my parents. I just needed a safe space.
The first thing my madam did is to seize my clothes so that I won't run away. So I thought it was a normal thing. But fortunately, she gave me out to men if I'm of good behavior because she does not pay me salary. She will put it this way that this man says she needs somebody to help her clean his house. And I'll be like, okay, in my head, I'm a lady, I need to get sanitary pad and to get roll on and get some few things for myself. But fortunately, one day, I was raped in a shop.
A similar story echoed across nations. Many victims, different experiences, from women to girls, and now even men and boys. More people are becoming victims of multiple forms of violence. It is a painful reality that continues to spread, disruptive and impossible to ignore.
We must decry the recent mass abduction of heinous kidnapping of school children in Kebbi and Niger State. These events are pointers to a wider crisis where fear and impunity disrupts the potential of our nation's women, and demanding that our resolve focuses not only on domestic GBV but also on systematic and conflict-related violence that threatens our national stability.
Economic empowerment is key because it gives women agency and voice. And women are able to make choices about the integrity of their bodies. They're able to inform the decision making about their children. Until women can play roles in decision making at the community level, a lot of what we're talking about will not change.
This colorful yet solemn flag off of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs in collaboration with Women for Women International, attended by international partners, civil society groups, amongst others, aim to reawaken the consciousness of Nigerians, urging everyone to join the collective fight.
Between 2020 and 2024 alone, more than 30,000 cases of gender-based violence were officially recorded. But beyond that, a painful reminder of how insecurity continues to expose women and girls to unimaginable harm.
Prevention is a key thing that we're particular about, but we recognize that response is a key aspect of prevention. We must support systems that help to prevent and respond to survivors of sexual and gender-based violence.
At a place where, even for the rural woman, at the grassroots,
Your impact makes not just a statement, but gives them a legacy imprint.
Non-consensual sharing of images, hate speech, digital exploitation, and cyberbullying of women and girls undermine safety, silence voices, and erode the gains we are making on gender equality.
So we need implementation. We need stronger laws. We need legal frameworks that are strengthened to make sure that women are protected, their rights are protected.
That 50% of our intervention go to women in the rural areas and also in the urban areas, just so that we don't live in a society where half of the population are left behind.
I wanna leave my footprint on the sands of time. Know there was something there and something that I left behind.
End digital violence against women and girls is the theme for this year.
Meanwhile, as the world struggles with various forms of violence and its devastating consequences, a disturbing new trend is emerging, leaving a trail of physical and emotional destruction, particularly among vulnerable groups like women and children. Now, in the era of digitization, the world is turning attention to this new trend of digital violence against women and girls, which is the focus for the 2025 16 Days of Activism Against Violence. Ngozi Teknikyo takes a special look at this trend and the legal framework to tackle the menace.
Violence in any form is an unwelcome intruder that no one deserves. Yet, it persistently targets the vulnerable, particularly women and children, and in rare cases, the male gender. The new and disturbing trend is digital violence, and it takes the form of cyberbullying, stalking, sextortion, and other forms of online abuse, which are on the rise. An estimated 68.9 million internet users in Nigeria reportedly experienced some form of online harm, while 54,000 have been targeted in sextortion scams. This explains the choice of the 2025 theme of the 16 Days of Activism, Unite to End Digital Violence Against All Women and Children, which harps on the importance of creating intensive awareness to prevent every form of violence against all genders.
Currently, we see a lot of women and girls being abused, especially on the internet. We have men who use images, they share non-consensual images of victims.
The effect on the youth themselves and the entire family and the whole nation is too adverse that we need to wake up from our sleep and slumber.
Experts say as the Jet Age generation is left to solve the internet to enhance learning, parental control and continuous orientation is imperative to protect these young minds.
First step to take is to ensure that we have them having healthy conversations with us. We ask them questions all the time. What are you doing? Who is your friend? Did you meet a new person today? What did you learn today? Once they can sense a feeling of comfort and see you as a friend, they'll be able to open up to you.
Addressing digital crime and violence demands a unified effort, and many believe this hinges on effective policies and collaborations across all arms of government.
You heard the speaker. He said it loud and clear that the legislative will work with all arms of government, the executive and the judiciary, to ensure that our girls and boys are safe.
Together, we can build a nation where women and girls are valued, respected, and protected.
We live in a digital world now. We will not be talking only about the VAP Acts, understand? We'll also be talking about our cyber laws. So I think that we need to strengthen our cyber laws.
An estimated 52% of women and girls between the age of 15 to 25 are said to have been harassed or abused online. This statistics is a wake-up call to all stakeholders to use the 16 days activism against gender-based violence optimally to achieve the desired goal. In Abuja, Ngozi Teknikyo, NT News.
Our correspondent, Momso, will join us after this break to share insights. Please stay tuned.
Our major currency unit is the Naira, while the minor unit is the Kobo. They are both in notes and coins. The Naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It bears the images of our heroes. So, stop abusing the Naira. It is a criminal offense to spray the Naira at events. Stop stepping on the Naira. It's not your enemy. Do not squeeze, ruffle, or write on the Naira. Handling the Naira with dirty or oily hands can deface the Naira. Love the Naira as you love yourself. Be a real Nigerian.
This message was brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Welcome back to the correspondence. Now let's move into the conversation, and Momso Demendati is here. It's good to see you on the program, and thanks for honoring our invitation. Momso.
I'm glad to be here, Zinra. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. So now let's get straight into it. But before we, dive into this year's theme, let's first find out some of the root causes of gender-based violence, especially the cultural practices in Nigeria's case.
Okay. One of the major causes of gender-based violence is patriarchal norms. From the onset, from the home, the boy is meant to feel he's superior to the lady or the female, and that already sets a course for gender-based violence. This ego, you're the man and everything. So from the onset, from the family, from the setting of the family, the foundation is already faulty, and that gives them. Then poverty is another thing, where a woman is over-dependent on the man. You discover that he tends to have this advantage over her, and so he decides and dictates and acts in a way and manner he so decides. In instances where we have women who are maybe independent financially and in all ramifications, the men tend to feel, because of the ego I said earlier about patriarchal norms, the men feel to be intimidated, and so they want to show themselves as, as men, as those who have the power, and then those who should have the influence and control. And so because of that, those feelings, they tend to want to cage the woman and corner her, and then want to exert their position and power, and then that leads to gender-based violence. We have poverty, patriarchal norms, we have social injustice, where there's no balance, there's no justice, there's no equity. All those things tend to, trigger gender-based violence.
But, okay, I know that this has been one issue that people have been always talking about. But nowadays, what is the situation like? Because you see men complain, this woman is like this, especially with the feminist theory ongoing. What is the situation truly like nowadays?
When we talk about equality, gender balance, gender means men and women, it's not just women. We're talking about equal opportunities to act in the same sphere, on the same space. If you're giving a man an opportunity to maybe be a producer of your program or news, give a woman the same opportunity to be. If a man is going to handle a camera, give a woman that opportunity. By virtue of creation, men and women are not the same. If you look at the way we are created, the way we are formed, yes, we're different. So we're not fighting for opportunity as maybe a husband and wife at home want to have the same space. No, all we're asking for is that if you're giving Mr. W an opportunity to act and lead, also give me the opportunity to also showcase what I can bring on the table. I too have brains, I can contribute. I can also, make decisions that would guide and help me. So that's all we're asking for. Give us an equal space where all of us can operate without, without a bias. Give this one opportunity to lead, also give me the opportunity, and let's see what I can bring on, how I can contribute to the development of my organization and even national and economic growth of the nation.
Okay, now let's talk about the successes recorded so far. This has been a long, fight over the years. And for you, who has covered the Ministry of Women Affairs for a long time now, you've seen, different ministers come and go. You've seen different agendas being pushed forward. I'm sure there have been some level of successes recorded. It's not just that we complain all the time. What have we actually achieved so far?
Yeah, we have achieved quite a lot. I can assure you that with years of advocacy, with years of campaigns, and events such as this 16 days of activism, where a whole 16 days is dedicated to, to campaign against violence against women, so much has been achieved. We have the VAP Act, which is a very major breakthrough in the fight against gender-based violence. We have the Child's Right Act, which has been adopted by all the states. Now, in some states, yes, there are implementations, some are still dragging and slow, but I can tell you that it's an achievement, where at least every woman has a right, every woman has a bill protecting her rights as a woman, and that, you know, the legal framework is also there to prosecute perpetrators of the heinous acts. So I think it's a big progress. I can tell you there's awareness.
Okay.
There's a lot of enlightenment in the rural communities. Initially, people were hiding these things. People felt, you know, because of stigma and everything, people will hide. They don't want people to know. Things happen, you just cover up. But I can tell you now, categorically, that there's a lot of awareness. There's a lot of enlightenment. Women know their rights. People are beginning to speak out. Even mothers whose husbands violate their children's rights begin to speak out. They don't care what happens to the marriage. All that matters is that they need justice for their children. So I can tell you, you know, that it's good and, you know, gladdening to know that so much progress has been made. Communities are beginning to speak up, traditional rulers, religious leaders, everybody is now aware that, okay, this is what constitutes violence, and that there's a law against such a thing. And you know, with that kind of it, so the perpetrators are now mindful and conscious of the fact that, okay, the society knows, so we have to treat, you know, cautiously and be careful, because there are laws also, you know, that will clamp us down if you are caught in such acts. So we have made a lot of progress. The VAP Act, Child Rights Act, awareness, traditional rulers being involved, legal system, everything is a whole, you know, gamut of approach to these issues in the society.
Well, we do hope to make more progress, but let's go back to the theme now. This year's theme, it's more about digital, you know, violence, you know, trying to end digital violence against women and girls. What would you say about this initiative? Knowing fully well that technology has come and it's a good initiative, so to say, but we are having a lot of, you know, disadvantages now. What would you say about this year's theme?
You know, every year from the 25th of November to the 10th of December, women gather across the world to campaign for an end to violence against the female gender and against even the male, because it's now multifaceted. But for this year, when the Beijing conference decided on this particular, on the policies that will guide women 30 years ago, the internet wasn't there. Yes, the social media and other things weren't there. But now times are changing and change is constant. So these policies are being reviewed to capture current realities. And the current reality is that a lot of women are going through cyberbullying. A lot of men are going through cyber stalking. A lot of men are going through harassment on the social media. And that affects their mental health being. That gives them trauma. We have heard of women who committed suicide because of harassment on the internet. And these are the things we are looking at. Why will I go on the social media to do my thing and then I'm being harassed, I'm being insulted? So while some people may be able to take it, others may not be able to. And that's why this campaign is focused on that. It's on to disabuse the minds of people, it's because it's a world over event, it's a universal event, on, you know, the abuse of persons on the social media space. Stop stalking, stop harassment, stop the bullying, and we've had a number of deaths because of all these kind of things, and that's why the campaign is focusing on this particular one. And one good thing about this celebration is that every year the women come together, review successes, you know, discuss current issues and realities, and then see how they can chart a path forward to address current realities. And that's the beauty, and that's why every year you see women come up with different events and then come up with different days to celebrate. It's about, you know, let's assess what has happened in the past. What are we facing now that is different from what we did 30 years ago at the Beijing conference? So how do we move forward? What do we address? And then another year comes, you know, there are new challenges emerging. We don't know what will come next. So, and that's how it keeps going, you know. You keep addressing current challenges, charting the way forward. And the good thing is that women will not stop talking until we see an end to gender-based violence. And that's the beauty of that's why the orange color, this orange color means, you know, orange is beautiful. Yeah, orange is bright, it's catchy. It means we're looking forward to a future where there will be no gender-based violence, where everybody will live peacefully and harmoniously, and we won't hear of cases of rape, of you know, even death leading to people's death. We have the likes of Osinachi. We had a recent one, just one is circulating on the social media right now. A lady killed the husband because she was forcefully married to him. So these are issues that trigger gender-based violence. I want to see an end to. Don't force people to marry those they don't want to marry.
So now, in your opinion, what contributions can government and individuals, also communities, you know, put in place to ensure that, you know, we put this thing to rest completely?
Now let's start from our homes. That's where the problem is the foundation that matters. When you want to send your girls on errands and you leave the boy, maybe the both of them are watching TV, you only call out the girl and you leave the male child to sit and watch. You've already started segregating, showing him that he's in charge, he's on control, that the woman is meant to serve him. These are things our parents, our communities, the society needs to fight against. Then we need responses. We have so many cases of, of course, we have been able to tackle some, but many are still coming up. So that the responses should be very swift and fast. We're talking about shelter homes where victims are taken, because if you allow a victim or a survivor to keep staying with the perpetrator of the violence, it will continue. So the first thing is safety, a shelter. Separate the victim or the survivor from the perpetrator first. Let the person have a breathing space, you know, think over. Then we need psychosocial support for this kind of people. And then funding has been a major problem, you know, fighting gender-based violence. So I think the government needs to up their game on funding. You know, there should be adequate funding for these things. You know, and then the community needs to speak out more. If you see something, say something. We need to speak out more. We need to all fight against it like we're doing right now. We need to be unanimous, agree on the fact that this is wrong, and it is unacceptable. By the time the society begins to speak out, by the time the society begins to act against such things, the perpetrators will know that there's no room for them in the society. And then most importantly, we should, you know, campaign against cyberbullying. Someone posts something, you'll see a lot of comments, you know, and then you push these people to psychological stress, trauma. Some go to the extent of committing suicide. That shouldn't be. Everybody has a right to express his or herself on their social media space. If you're not comfortable, please just go away. You don't have any right, you know, to stalk someone, to bully someone, to threaten someone. No.
Having been on this bit for a long time now, what have you seen? What are your experiences so far? Because I know you've seen quite a lot, especially with all these gender-based violence issues and all of that. I know you've seen a lot. Share some of those experiences with us and how going forward you're going to help, you know, as an advocate and stakeholder for women.
Well, I would, one of the most painful, I think, experiences I witnessed was a 37-year-old raping a 7-year-old. There are many of such cases. In fact, there are some instances where, you know, grown adults rape 3 months and others. They are very painful experiences. And you just discover that, you know, sometimes, I don't know, you just kind of truncate the future, the dreams, the hopes of these children for the perpetrators. And then, painfully enough, some of them, for some, you see their wives, their family members coming to cover up for them. And I would ask, if the child was your daughter, would you be happy? Would you want to cover up for such kind of a person who would rape a 3-month-old, who would rape a 7-year-old at 30 or 40-something years old? It's not fair. So, and these are the kind of painful things we see. But as, you know, a gender correspondent, we'll keep advocating, we'll keep speaking out, and we'll keep exposing. And one thing I've discovered in these years of gender coverage is the fact that the justice system is quite slow. And that's why most times maybe the perpetrators get, you know, the liver and the courage to keep doing what they're doing. So I would want to appeal to those in the field to fast track the justice system. Because by the time you do it and justice take its course immediately, a lot of people will be deterred from doing that.
Well, we do hope that this hydra-headed monster is subdued sooner rather than later. And thank you so much, Monso, for your input on the program. And we do hope to see you again sometime soon.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
All right. And with that, we wrap up the program this week. Don't forget to join us again, same time next week. From all of us here, it's bye for now.